Today I'm going to talk about the Konica Minolta D or Die Image Scan Elite 5402 and its accessories. It comes with a film strip holder and a slide holder for 5 slides. Let's start checking its construction. On the front you have the on-off button, a scan button that is software dependent. If you have the correct drivers installed, when you push the scan button it will launch the scanner application. This doesn't work anymore. The eject button, this will eject the film strip no matter what's happening. It will, when you push it, the tray will slide out. Then there is a mechanically linked autofocus knob, the flap door where you put your film carrier in. Then you have the Konica Minolta logo, the scanner logo, and sticker mentioning that it supports digital ICE 4, and that's for infrared based dust reduction. Unlike the previous generation, which I've heard is made of metal, this one is fully made of plastic and it is very long, just like the usual dedicated film scanners of the era. There's some ventilation holes here. This area of the scanner gets quite warm during use. On the back I have the usual regulatory yada yada. So the name of the scanner, the Image Scan Elite 5402 model AF 5400S2. It takes 24 volts at 0.84 amps. It was made in Taiwan by Konica Minolta Photo Imaging Incorporated. This is the last scanner before Konica was acquired by Sony and just dropped out of the film business. You get a USB 2 port. This doesn't support FireWire unlike the previous generation. And then there is the power socket. On the other side you have an ejection hole. Here you see there's a spin. Actually it's not for ejecting. The seller did install this in, but I suppose that when you turn it off you can slide the spin back in this hole and it's gonna avoid the mechanical parts of the scanner of moving around during transport. The film strip holder is very nice. You get 6 notches or squares for your film, which you align the line dividing each frame against the plastic construction here. And as you can see, every second frame gets a full bar and every frame has a small separation here. This helps keeping the film flat, so even very curly film sits very nicely flat on this scanner. An issue with that I have noticed is that sometimes the edge of the frame gets a little bit of flare, probably because the light suffers some diffraction around the edges of this line. If you crop the image a little bit, it is okay, but it is noticeable, especially if you pump up the gain. The slide holder can fit 5 slides. And the interesting thing is this position here, where if you're scanning multiple slides in sequence, the film holder or the slide holder will just eject a little bit. You slide the slide in here and load it back, so you don't have to load or remove the whole tray multiple times from the system. Probably reduce the wear and tear. I really don't see why you would use that so much, because you can just eject the whole thing and replace all slides. But it is here and it works quite fine. The lock mechanism of the holders is quite delicate, but it works well. You have this latch here that is held in place by the small spring, and if you want to load film you just do it like this, move it out of the way, load the strip in, and then load it back. And the holder construction is very clever. You have these 2 gaps here for your fingers, so when you slide the strip in you don't touch the film. So for example here I'm gonna load a strip of Velvia. And can see now I can move the film around without touching the strip. So what I have to do now is, so for example, I should align the space between the strips with the edge. It's a bit hard to see, but I usually raise the holder against the light to see this part. Also, you have this tooth here, and you need to make sure that in both sides the film slides under it, otherwise when you shut the holder you will smash the film strip. So I check that this is in, and then I will just close it down. You can see I am misaligned, so I'll just move the strip a little bit here, and now it is quite okay. And I have a loaded strip. I don't shoot, or I don't have any framed slides, but I got a calibration target that comes from the vendor framed. So let's load it. So I must lift both locks. And again, I have the notches or the cuts here to avoid touching the slide. Slide it in, it fits in the gap, then I shut it closed. Or I can just slide it here. After connecting everything, you can turn the scanner on. And one thing that's important to notice is that the scanner will not show ready, like the LED is not gonna be steady blue until you load the scanner software on your computer. Now that the software is loaded, the light is on. The design of the film holders and the design of the scanner make it very resilient against dust. And I hardly ever have to remove any dust spots from color films, be it slides or negatives. For example, the way it holds the film strips very flat, they will not bulge when I air, meaning that the dust will have a better chance or more tendency of going away. The energy of the wind doesn't get wasted with the film strip moving back and forth. And secondly, the scanner is vertical, so the mirror is vertical, the sensor is vertical, and well, since it's vertical, the chances of dust falling off are much smaller. If you have the Konica software loaded, when you insert a film strip or slide holder, it will trigger the preview scan process. By default, the preview scan will not trigger autofocus, but when you start a scan or trigger a more precise adjustment in the scanner software, autofocus will trigger. And it's a very nice process to watch. It will first do a more coarse loop through the whole focus cycle, pick the best, let's say, best spot, and then do a finer scan to check the focus. And each time it scans, you see the scanner LED flashing, taking quick scans in sequence. It's very nice. Watch it out. Now the scanner has focused on the first transparency. If I decide to check the last transparency, the last shot, and try to autofocus it, it will move the whole tray back in. never had the need to manually focus, so I don't even really know how it works. But I know that the knob is mechanically linked. The good people at filmscanner.info already tested the scanner extensively, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. When it comes to performance, it's a quite fast scanner. It's not as fast as the CoolScan 5000 from Nikon, but you get a full quality slide, a negative at 1 minute and 55, and have they tested slides? Yes, 1 minute and 30 for transparencies. Scanning slides involve some extra processing at the end, so I understand the difference. The effective resolution is mentioned somewhere here. Let's see. Yes, so out of 5400 promised DPI, you get 4200, which is higher than the Nikon that promises 4000 and delivers, if I'm not mistaken, 3800. The quality is really excellent for basically almost all usages. And if you need something better than that, if you have a very special slide, then you can try to find FlexTight X5 or send it out for drone scanning. Now let's look at image quality. This is a scan of slide Velvia 100 done at maximum quality with automatic ICE, dust removal. If you look here, the colors are quite washed out, but the detail is good. You get to see the fabric of the party flags with a lot of detail. It's very sharp. You can see the fabric texture down here. There are no aberrations, no issues with this. Dust removal didn't manage to clear this spot here. It's probably a defect on the emulsion. Overall, the image is very nice, but I was very disappointed with the color. So I acquired a calibration target from Lasersoft, and after that I applied the profile and I got this result. Now the colors look like what I got from my calibrated Epson V850, and as you can see here, the colors are now vivid and they look like the slide looks on the light table. If the image would finish loading from my NAS, would be great. Well, I'm not going to wait for this. The detail is the same, just the color is better. When it comes to black and white, I really didn't like the results. On the left we get the Epson, on the right we have the Minolta. And for example, if we check the tree here, there are multiple shades of gray, and the tone is very beautiful, and the Minolta is just this washed out blob of gray that I really didn't like. With adequate sharpening, you can see that the Epson holds out pretty well, and honestly, if I had to print this image, I'll definitely choose the Epson image. Sometimes you can see the effects of over sharpening here, for example with the word Lafka. The detail on the Konica is much better. The fence also looks much better on the Minolta. It's actual information rather than over sharpened mush. But the tone of the Epson is much better, and unless I'm printing a huge image, I would rather stay with the Epson image. One thing to note though is that when it comes to scanners, the software makes a lot of difference, and Silverfast does not support the 5402, only the original 5400, at least the latest version of Silverfast. So of course this is a Negafix inversion from Silverfast, and on the right we have the inversion from the Minolta. And I tried to adjust the image to approximate a little bit more the Epson, but I was not successful with it. Now we can check another example of image quality. The image on the left was made on the Epson at theoretical 6400 dpi, and the image on the right was done on the Minolta at theoretical 5400 dpi. Of course, according to the technical reviews, we know that the Epson does 2200 dpi maximum, and the Minolta does way more. Although, of course, the image on the left looks better because it has had the color profile applied, whereas the image on the right is out of the box using the Minolta profile, which is really not great. But now, let's check this handbag here. So here at 100%, you see that there is not a lot of detail on the handbag, whereas on the right, even if we zoom in to match the same size, you can see that the Minolta holds way more detail than the Epson. It's incomparable. And I've applied some selective sharpening to the Epson image, and it still doesn't look as good as the Minolta. We get no information on the Epson as we zoom in, whereas the Minolta gives us a lot of detail.